know thought leaders and thoughtful leaders? Yes, you. You can claim it. Certainly by the end of this presentation, it'd be really great if you claimed a little bit more thought leadership and what we call thoughtful leadership. So what am I talking about? Well, several things. Who's a coach in here? Anybody? No? Totally forgot to have my man here introduce me, but there's no microphone anyway. I'm Mindy Gibbins-Klein. I do a lot of speaking and writing on thought leadership. I run 3 businesses, Real Thought Leaders, The Book Midwife, and Panoma Press Publishing. So our stand is just across the way. So please come and see us after this presentation, and we have a special offer for you as well, because you've been attending. So thought leadership is leading with your thinking. We wrote 24 Carat Bold. I wrote it and we published it at my company because a lot of people want to be a leader and they want to stand out. Would you agree? You want to stand out in some way. It's very, very crowded. We own, as I say, a couple of book businesses, and we see that there's a lot of people bringing books out, a lot. There's something like 8 million books on Amazon UK. So how do you stand out? And in the coaching and consultancy and leadership books market, it's hard. There's thousands of books. So I believe, and you're welcome to share this belief, that the way to stand out is to have exceptional thinking and ideas, and that requires a certain amount of thought and effort. If you've ever felt like this person with your head chopped off, and like you're standing there trying to get everyone's attention and nobody's paying attention, then you need some strategies. And it's not just clever gimmicks, it's not tactics. Yes, okay, you could, wear a low-cut outfit, or you could be the person who always shows up in green, or you could have a really loud voice like some people in this hall. There's lots of gimmicks. I'm talking about real substance. If you're writing notes, that is the best word you will hear today, because there's a lot of stuff out there with no substance. Who knows what I'm talking about? Who's seen all sorts of flimsy, flippant, ridiculous products, services, and people that have no depth? So real thought leadership has some depth. And the great news is, not only is it possible, but it's fun and easy to put this kind of thought into your speaking, if you're a speaker, your writing, if you want to be writing, your business, if you run one. A lot of people will tell you that you have to produce content. It's not my favorite word these days. Everything is content. There's content in the Expo program. There's content, in your free newspaper that comes through your door. There's content everywhere. There's content in the yellow pages. I personally believe it's not about content, because most of that can be thrown away. However, if you're producing thought-provoking content, then it's different. What was my favorite word? Substance. Thank you, Hazel. If you are producing content that has real substance, you can make a difference. So that's what we're talking about today. If you didn't realize, you're in this room and you're going to hear something that a lot of people don't understand. Whole lot of talk about you've got to be writing, you've got to be speaking. They're not talking about whether your ideas are actually anything worth sharing. So, if it's not about that, what is it about? By the way, I put these in little tweetable formats. If anybody does Twitter, feel free to take a picture of anything you see here today and tweet it. At Mindy GK is my thought leadership handle. I honestly believe that you know things that no one else knows. I believe that you know things that no one else knows. I believe that every person in this room and out there knows things that no one else knows. But does it always get pulled together into a package that can help and inspire people? The answer is no. But you have to start by believing this yourself. So just sit for a moment just a moment, because we've got a lot of slides to get through, but just take a moment and think of one thing that you know a lot about. One thing, it could be an experience, an idea, it could be how many years you've been doing something. It could just be a strong idea or opinion that you have. It could be something that happened to you that was really kind of wild or special or whatever. That's something you know about. You don't have to know everything about everything. Is that a relief? To be an expert, you don't have to know everything. You do have to know about something, and you have to know a little bit more than the people listening to you. And that is a starting point, but just to actually claim that for yourself. Just nod your head if you can think of something that you know about and that you possibly could write or speak about and would want to make a difference with that thing. Okay, I saw at least 2/3, if not 3/4. And if not, keep thinking. You don't need to listen to me for the next minute. Find something, because we're going to play with it in a minute. You really can be an authority in just about anything. Now, this is a slide that has maybe 5%, maybe not even, maybe 2% of all the books and authors and speakers that I've worked with personally. So, people who thought they were learning about books today, you are, and yet that's not all we're talking about. We are talking about all of your writing and all of your speaking to get your message across. That's key. So if you look at some of these books, they're very specific. Can you see Play Tennis Forever in the middle? It's right in the middle. Guess which book became a bestseller during Wimbledon? Guess which author got invited to do a number of programs with the LTA, the Lawn Tennis Association? Guess which thought leader now feels really confident that she knows something about something? She knows about that topic. She's a physiotherapist who's worked primarily with tennis. She's also written Play Golf Forever, if you know any older golfers. It's unlimited. I struggle every time I do these slides. I think, oh, which books can I put on there? Because I can only fit so many. If you want to see a lot more books, we're right across the corridor here. My team will be waving to you at the end of this. Come and browse, come and talk to us. You might think your topic is really niche. That's a good thing. And if there's a very small market, there's a way to capture a lot of it. So, are you ready for the biggest secret of all? Are you ready? Who's ready? It's a secret, and it's not a secret. And thank you for lending me your clothes for this photo. The little dog in this picture, he's very cute, and yet he's frowning. Because we are special and we don't recognize it. You have some special gift, some special expertise, some special ideas that really need to be shared. This is when I say thought leadership and putting thought into it. This is the thought. Now is the time. This is the moment where you decide what it is that you want to be known for and get out there into the world. It could be something you're working on now, or you may want to make a shift in your career or your business. But claiming this is the most important thing you can do. And as I said, it's not only about writing books. Here are some of the things that you can do. You can write books and ebooks, obviously. We help with that. You can have blogs, and you should be writing articles and things of different lengths. And you can be speaking, podcasts, there's interviews on radio, video, live speaking like this. It's unlimited. There's more things that you can do with your message and your content as long as it has substance. So that's what you need to do. That's all you need to do is create something that has a bit of oomph to it, that has some real substance, and then produce all this. Please do not listen to anybody who says you should be writing any of these things or speaking or doing anything unless you've done your thought leadership strategy. That's my second best advice. The first one is focus on substance. And related to that, take the time, effort, maybe work with someone like our team to put that package and that message together. Then you'll have a lot of confidence, like Suzanne, who wrote the tennis book. There's several things that you can do when you're a thought leader or a thoughtful leader. The first one is to clarify something. Think about your area of expertise. Is it ever confusing for people, or do they ever have a misconception about what you do, how it works, why they should pay, how you add value? That's because it's not clear. So one thing you can do with good writing and speaking is you can clarify a situation. We have lots and lots of examples. What I've done here is I've used a book instead of the person. You'll like this one a lot better. This is an example of somebody who's really clarified a situation. So Tamsin was really getting frustrated with law of attraction. Anybody heard of it? Law of attraction. Anybody know exactly how it works? Exactly? And basically, you will have heard that you can't just sit there and go, oh, the riches are coming to me, they're coming, I know. You have to do something. There's an action. So it's the act of attraction. And especially in business, who runs a business of some kind? Most of you? Or you're thinking about it. You cannot just sit there and meditate. I mean, we love meditation, don't get me wrong, but you must take some action. So she used this, not only book, she's written articles, speaking, the whole lot. When I say book, is it okay if I say book to mean book plus? Like all the things from the previous chart, is that okay? Otherwise, I'll be going books, articles, blogs, speaking, video, every single time. So Tamsin chose to do book plus to clarify, what is this attraction? Law of attraction, act of attraction, and exactly how to take action. Really, really great book, available in paperback, hardback, and Kindle, and other ebook formats. So, what's so important about that? Well, if you don't clarify the situation, maybe your competitor will, or your market will just stay confused, and that's not good. I'm doing my best to clarify things about thought leadership. And I'm doing that with people who have heard the term, but they're not sure exactly what it is. I don't mind. I didn't mind having a chat and saying, sure, if people need to really explore things, it's worth it. You can also amplify a message. So if you are running a business, selling a product or service, or you're in any way trying to make an impact or sales, you need to get the message out. You know this already. When you embark on thought leadership, you're thinking about how to get that message out to the right people, how to get that message out clearly. Should it be, in written form? Should you be blogging? Should you be speaking? Should you be doing videos? Should you be writing books? You can do any and all of that, as I said. So amplifying the message is really important, because there's no point being a household name in your own house only. There's a rude term that I usually use, so I forgot I was being filmed. So there's no point being a legend in your own living room. That is not good enough. You need to get out there. But I understand if you don't feel ready, if you haven't clarified the message for yourself, then amplify is next. So the next word is interesting. There's lots of ways to put it, but I like this one. Oh, oops, sorry, not ready. The best example that I had for you for amplifying a message is this book for teachers written by Catherine Lovewell. Now, she was a teacher, and she became very stressed out. Apparently this happens a lot, because they just have big classes, they have all the paperwork, there's so much admin, and she decided that she wanted to start fixing. So rectifying the situation is really important. Now, can she do this single-handedly? Probably not. But she wrote the book and planned a series of articles which got her invited to some major conferences in England, Wales, and Ireland, and Australia now. She began coming up with more tools and online resources and offering consultancy and training. And it became, you know, a whole project with a really, really great goal of helping teachers. Now, she felt very strongly she wanted to fix something. Can you think of something in your industry, your market, or even in your company that you'd like to fix? Putting the thought in is the first step, and then you can create your messaging. You can begin to shift people's mindset, their attitude, and their opinions about that. See, that's why I get excited about thought leadership. I don't know who else is as excited as I am in this room. Got one over there on my team. And seriously, what could be more exciting than developing your most passionate message and sharing it with the world? Hello, there is nothing else. And okay, maybe a couple of things, but this is one of the most exciting things you could do in business. And you have an obligation to do this for your business, because running an unsuccessful business is not what I have in mind for you, and it's probably not what you have in mind for you. If you are a coach, and we did make this session for coaches, and maybe it was a bit misleading because it's actually for everyone, but coaches in particular, coaches, consultants, speakers, and trainers, don't always value themselves enough. They don't always do what they need to do to show that they're great. If they haven't done this work, they may not feel confident, and that comes across, and then the business suffers, and then they have, you know, proof that they're no good. No, that's nonsense. There's a way to turn any business around. I firmly believe that. And we have experts who know a lot more about it. Come and speak to us on the stand. So this is really important if there's something you want to rectify. Now, rectify. What do you need to fix? What do you need to fix? My slides are out of order and we're having fun. So, you already knew the R. So, what actually needs to be fixed? Here's where I began to think about thought leadership and the fact a lot of people throw the term around. And you'll hear it. And after today, you'll hear it a lot more. What happens is people say a phrase, and then if you try to pin them down on it, they don't know what they're talking about. True thought leadership has, what's the magic word? Substance, thank you. And it has some kind of plan. You're trying to do something with it. You're trying to clarify a situation, amplify it, get a lot of people to know about it, rectify things so that you can fix a situation. And now you're starting to see that there's a positive element. All I'm trying to do with my work is show that people shouldn't be talking about thought leadership unless there's a decent amount of thought that goes into it and substance. So if you know somebody who is struggling and they really are not being very clear about their message, they need to do this kind of work before they do anything else, before they join any speaking or writing courses or anything else. They need a bit of clarity about what they're up to in the world. And the good news is that's available. One more thing, another clever word which I like. This is in the right order now. Electrify. You may not feel ready to do this. We're into the afternoon now, so I give you permission. You are capable of electrifying an individual. I don't mean this literally, by the way, not electrocute or anything. You are capable of electrifying a market, an audience, society, the world. It's really unlimited. I feel quite strongly about this because, I should have explained earlier, I did grow up in the US, if you haven't guessed. No, you didn't guess? I've been here 26 years nearly and loving it. And I started becoming very British. So this little aside is to let you know that we Brits, because I have my passport now, are not so good at saying, yes, I'm going to electrify the world. We're a little bit more reserved. So for the purpose of this session, I will let you borrow some of my New York chutzpah. If you don't know what that is, just borrow it anyway. It's a little bit of self-promotion. It's a little bit of boldness. It's you know, just enough not to set people on edge. But you cannot sit there and go, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough, and who am I to electrify? You are. And you should, because it's really, really fun. Now, someone who's done this in a big way, and if you know anything about our work, you'll know this book. I've shown the 4th edition by mistake. We have the 5th edition on the stand. It sold 100,000 copies. The man is a genius. If you know the property market, obviously, the work that went into the book was helpful in him gaining clarity, amplifying the message, rectifying a situation where people said, I want to build a portfolio, but I don't know where to start, I have no money. And so that was he's been at this for a long time, 10, 12 years at least. So I really wanted to work with him and help him. And he's been the most amazing and open student I've had. So I say, try this, he tries it. I say, do that, he does it. And surprise, surprise, he's had £2 million worth of business with his material, his courses, his books, his speaking, his articles. He does videos. He runs the PIN, the Property Investors Network. Massive. So I really get a kick out of that, because this is somebody who decided to electrify things in a big way. Now, property, anybody in here in property? Anybody invest in any properties? We're taking a beating at the moment, because it seems like the government doesn't want us to make any money, and maybe they don't. All politics aside, there are ways to do things, and there are ways to make money in property despite regulations, and that's all I'm going to say on the matter. He's the expert, and I'm hopefully the expert in thought leadership and writing. But the point about this, remember the main point, you can just bring out something, a book that's going to be like, oh yes, it's very nice, I learned something, or a book that shakes things up. And when I say book, of course, I mean book plus, everything. It's up to you. If you really want to do it, oh, have you noticed something, by the way? The clever people may have noticed an acronym. Nobody noticed? All right. So there's a little trick here. You can remember it. It's an acronym so you can remember, but also because it's the 5th secret. You will never be a real thought leader or a thoughtful leader unless you really care. You can't play at this, you can't pretend with this stuff, because people will know, won't they? So you have to ask yourself a big question. Do you care enough? Do you actually care enough about the situation, about your industry, about your team, about the clients that you have, about the world, the environment, whatever your big passion is? Do you care enough? Because this is not easy. It takes a bit of work and thought, as we've said. This is my favorite part, because this is, in New York, we say this is where the rubber meets the road. This is, you're either doing it or you're not doing it. You're not going to be half pregnant, I promise. Do you care enough? And if you want to tweet it, tweet that you do care enough. People will get that through your actions. A few more things you need to do. This is not for the faint-hearted, but who wants to see the real juicy stuff that you want to do? Yeah? You're not scared? Some people were scared, and they left. You stayed. Okay. I told you it's scary. You have to be willing to put yourself up here. Like, I'm saying a few things. I don't think they're that opinionated. You might think I'm mad. You have to be willing to put yourself in the spotlight and put that target on your back and say, I've got to say this, and shoot me if you want. These cartoons, by the way, come from 24 Carat Bold. So if you like the style, we can chat with you about how to use cartoons and how not to use cartoons. Another thing that you need to think about doing. Be bold and opinionated, or don't bother. That's my opinion. So you may not like it, you may not like the idea of being bold and opinionated. You might still be feeling very British. I personally think that it's not worth bringing out something unless it really has your boldness in it. And finally, if you think you can outsource this, you can outsource certain things, but not the thinking, not the boldness, not your real substance of your message, not the real power and the real thought behind it. That's, by the way, no ghosts allowed, no ghost writing. So if you want to be writing and publishing and speaking, you can. And then there are certain things you can outsource, but you do the planning yourself, and that's the trick. So if you want to tweet me, you can't outsource your thinking. Can you? Certain things you can't outsource in life. Doctor's appointment, going to bed with your partner, thinking. I don't think, doing a speaking engagement. There's certain things you cannot have someone else do and pretend that they're you. So, okay. If you want to improve your chances, it says improve your chances. You need to do something. I'm going to share with you for the next minute, maybe minute and a half, what we have going on. And there's lots of ways to do this, but since you've bothered to come to my talk, you're going to hear about what we do for serious players. So, it's probably about to load. There we go. We do a group coaching program for thought leadership and book writing. You may have heard of it. Come to our stand because we have all the leaflets, we have all the information. We've been running these for 12 years now. This is how 1,000 people have gone through the thought leadership and book programs because we couldn't do it all individually. Wonderful retreat in a beautiful setting, which I'll show you in a minute. But the main thing is that it's a full 2-day retreat followed by 10 webinars spaced over 90 days. The dates are there in case you're thinking of doing this with us. The silver ticket, $1,995 plus VAT for UK folks. This is, you will never get this kind of value for that kind of price and get a full book plus, structured, outlined, planned, not written, but you'll have the full plan done in 90 days, and you'll have total clarity, and you'll be able to go with confidence and do the rest of your stuff. So this is for you if you are thinking of being a thought leader, bringing out a book plus, and doing it quick. Because we're starting in May, and the books will be done in August, and they'll be out at the end of the year, and people will be launching their speaking and writing careers and thought leadership careers. So it's not for everyone. If you want, we're doing a special for people who cannot attend the retreat. So you'll notice on our website it says take $300 off if you're not coming to the retreat. So we have people join us from different countries. What I want you guys to think about is whether you would like that $300 even if you are coming to the retreat. Basically, come to the retreat for free. That's what I'm saying. You can enter 300 as a coupon code. I hope you're writing this bit down. 300 allows you to take $300 off any of the levels. I'm showing you the silver. And still come for 2 full days, all inclusive, and get your book plus planned. To be a thought leader, you need to do this planning at some point, somewhere, somehow. We'd love for you to come and join us. I wasn't going to say 10 people only, but it made it onto the slide. If you're number 11, we'll talk. There's the website if you want to go straight to it whenever you want. bookmidwife.com/90. It's for our 90-day program. 90 days to have a book in your hand, a thought leadership strategy, to be on your way. Philip's nodding. His book is just coming out, and it's just come out. And he will be very happy to chat with you about the process on our stand right across. If you come and chat with us, by the way, right after this talk, we have free mugs, we have coasters, we have books for £5. We have all sorts of really exciting things for you. And you can enter the draw and win a place here. So, this is the view from one of the windows. Beautiful. We are going back to this venue. It is the most gorgeous mansion house. It's one of these old stately homes that's been turned into a venue. Really, really gorgeous. We treat ourselves really well. unlimited coffee and snacks, beautiful food, and wonderful environment to do your thinking and planning. Okay, there's some pictures from some of our retreats in different countries, most of them in the UK. We make it fun and easy. So it's up to you. Stand 155, I didn't know we were going to be so close, just across, you heard that message. I'm good to talk for another 10 minutes, but I don't have 10 minutes worth. So what I'm going to do, I know there's a burning question, and because we're filming, I will answer questions when I turn this mic off and go stand at the door. Is that okay? I'm just going to finish these, nearly done. So, all I really want to leave you with right now is a choice. Thought leadership is a choice, by the way. Do you really want to make a stand, a real stand? Do you want to have something of substance to say? And do you want to be able to package that up in a book plus articles, blogs, speaking, videos, podcasts, you name it? The real thought leaders are getting all sorts of exposure, opportunities, interviews. One of our books, by the way, just became a #1 bestseller just today in leadership, management and leadership, HR, and we're absolutely thrilled. If you follow me on all the networks, you'll see it. I put it on Facebook, I'm about to put it on Twitter. It's exciting. It's all sorts of doors start opening when you commit and you decide that you're willing to be a real thought leader and put real thought into your content. And then the sky's the limit. So thanks so much for your attention today and for learning about something new. There's not a lot of people talking about it in this way. And I would be more than happy to chat with you just across the way at our stand, where you can pick up books and mugs and all sorts of things and enter the draw and win a place at our next retreat, maybe. Thank you so much.